I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm in front of you.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're looking at 10 accidents that almost killed celebrities.
I really was just fighting demons, you know.
For this list, we're looking at harrowing incidents that nearly claimed the lives of famous individuals. Which celeb accident shocked you the most? Let us know below. Kevin Hart. In September 2019, Jared Black was driving his fiancée Rebecca Brocksterman and Kevin Hart in Malibu, California. But reckless driving caused the vehicle to crash into a tree. While Brocksterman emerged without serious wounds, Black and Hart were badly hurt.
Hart was rushed here to Northridge Hospital. Black is at UCLA. This happened on Mulholland Highway, just east of Cold Canyon Road.
The comedian also required back surgery to repair the spinal fractures he suffered in the aftermath of the accident. Hart had to endure a painful recovery period.
Some of the craziest things that happen to you end up being the things that you needed most.
After hiding his discomfort from the doctors to avoid pausing his rehab, the comedian began returning to his day-to-day activities. Hart has since said that the accident had a profound effect on his life.
But now you're feeling good?
I'm feeling good, man.
Are you able to,
Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm just gonna go lap around the field.
While Ozzy Osbourne was enjoying a day off, he decided to jump on an ATV for what should have been a fun ride. A combination of the high speed he was traveling at with the uneven terrain eventually caused the vehicle to flip over. Before anyone could react, the ATV landed atop Osbourne. The musician's bodyguard Sam Rustin reported that he had to perform CPR to get the star breathing again. Shortly after Osbourne arrived at a hospital, he learned that he had injuries that ranged from broken ribs to a partially collapsed lung. He fell into a coma for 8 days after the accident. Although Osbourne was able to recover, he would later aggravate his injuries in 2019 due to a bad fall. Jay Leno. If there's one thing everyone knows about Jay Leno, it is that he loves vehicles. In November 2022, he was trying to fix a clogged fuel line that was attached to one of his classic cars. A split-second infusion of air caused gasoline to pour on his face before a spark lit a life-threatening flame.
It was horrible. It was horrible. In fact, he asked me, how do I look? And I think I said, not good.
Fortunately, Leno took the proper precautions to ensure that the blaze didn't cause any fatal injuries.
Leno confirmed the accident, saying, "I got some serious burns from a gasoline fire. I'm okay. Just need a week or two to get back on my feet."
However, he did need to get his burns treated by professionals.
Doctors say he is expected to make a full recovery. Leno has reportedly kept up his good spirits since he was admitted.
The comedian reported that he didn't even take pain medication during his recovery and receipt of skin grafts. While he was in good spirits and performing less than a week later, the incident was still harrowing.
Leno seemed surprised about all the fuss surrounding his speedy comeback.
Jay, who's been your biggest source of inspiration through this whole thing to get back on stage so quick?
No, I got burned. There was in the hospital for a few days, and now I'm back out working again.
Sean Kingston.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says Kingston and a female passenger were injured when the watercraft hit the Palm Island Bridge yesterday.
Jet skis are typically tons of fun, but they can cause horrendous damage to the person riding. While Sean Kingston was riding with a passenger in May 2011, he crashed directly into a bridge. The impact knocked him out and left him helpless in the water.
We don't know if it was a direct hit or if it was a glancing blow. They did collide with the bridge and they ended up in the water.
Although Kingston was saved by a Coast Guard employee and stabilized in a hospital, he wasn't out of the woods yet. He soon discovered that the accident had caused internal damage to his heart. Kingston was finally cleared after getting surgery. While it took the singer time to recover, he was seen riding jet skis after surviving an extremely close call.
It was not far from here where you had your accident. How does it feel to still be alive?
It feels great. It's a blessing. It's definitely, God is great. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm blessed. I overcome the tragic situation. It was definitely trauma, and for me to still be here, it's only God's work.
Harrison Ford.
You know how to fly, don't you?
No. Do you?
Oh, no.
How hard can it be?
Actor and pilot Harrison Ford has had a few scary incidents in the air. But his most infamous trial came in March 2015. Shortly after Ford had taken a vintage plane into the air, he discovered there was something seriously wrong with his engine.
It's an airplane that's as old as Harrison Ford is. When airplanes or engines are that old, they do have a tendency to fail.
Since he was unable to make it back to the airstrip where he took off, he was forced to crash land onto a golf course.
So you chose a golf course because doctors are there usually, so that would be a good place to land.
That wasn't, I didn't construct such a complete understanding of the situation.
Ford was fortunate enough to crash near a spine surgeon that stopped everything to immediately access the actor. During the crash, Ford's pelvis and ankle were injured.
But if he was indeed sitting in the back, that would certainly explain why his injuries were moderate.
But judging by some of the stunts he's performed in the years after the plane went down, he's gotten a lot better. Tracy Morgan. While Tracy Morgan was traveling in a limo bus on the New Jersey Turnpike with several of his friends in the industry, his vehicle was rear-ended by a Walmart tractor trailer. The resulting collision tragically caused comedian James McNair to lose his life.
Devastated. We're devastated. James, I love you.
After medical professionals arrived at the scene, they determined Morgan had suffered serious injuries throughout his body. The comedian also fell into a coma after the accident.
It felt like an explosion.
During Morgan's recovery period, he had memory loss and had to rely on a wheelchair at points. But the comedian eventually recovered enough to continue on TV projects and his stand-up.
Having this whole thing happen to you in the coma and you come out and everything's different.
No, yeah, things are different.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is leading the polls. I'm going back.
No, you can't go back.
Morgan and others affected by the event would go on to sue Walmart before the company settled for an undisclosed amount.
The case is settled, but the pain is always going to be there.
Keanu Reeves. The Matrix actor nearly had his career cut tragically short just before it took off.
How?
He is the one.
Reeves was riding on a notoriously harrowing road in California back in 1988. After he went into a turn at a risky speed, he crashed. Unfortunately, no one immediately realized that he was in trouble. Reeves had to avoid a passing truck and lie near the crash site for a while before he was finally discovered. The terrible accident eventually resulted in major damage to his spleen. As most moviegoers can tell, Reeves hasn't had a problem getting back on a few motorcycles after 1988. But that one ride came frighteningly close to being his last. Ric Flair. It's undeniable that Ric Flair is considered one of the best wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots.
But the bottom line is, I'm the best wrestler in the world today, whether you like it or not.
But before his legend as the Nature Boy developed, Flair's life hung in the balance. Back in 1975, he got on a plane flown by pilot Joseph Farkas. The flying professional decided to get rid of fuel to reduce weight. However, this decision would eventually cause the engines to fail. The resulting crash injured every single person on board. Farkas passed away from his injuries after the incident.
Hit a headwind, beautiful day, and we lost power, both engines, 6,000 feet.
Meanwhile, Ric Flair suffered such severe back injuries that doctors doubted he would ever get back into the ring. In an inspiring turn of events, he overcame the odds and continued to make wrestling history. Jeremy Renner. On New Year's Day 2023, Jeremy Renner was using a snowplow when the vehicle began to slip out of his control. Fearing it would hit his nephew, he got out and tried to stop it. This act caused Renner to get dragged underneath the heavy vehicle. The accident left the actor in critical condition with numerous broken bones.
On New Year's Day, Renner's snowcat, like the one he's seen operating in this video posted more than a year ago, was stuck in the snow on his property near Lake Tahoe. When he tried to free it, he was crushed by the 14,000-pound machine, airlifted to the hospital with blunt chest trauma and orthopedic injuries.
After getting airlifted to a hospital and being operated upon, Renner became stable enough to reassure everyone that he was resting and recovering.
We've learned that Renner's family is with him now and he is receiving hospital care.
In early February 2023, his MCU co-star Evangeline Lilly reported that he was in good spirits at home. Hearing that Renner came out of the snowplow accident with a positive attitude was definitely a welcome bit of news for his fans and loved ones. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Travis Barker. Tragedy struck shortly after Blink-182's Travis Barker got on a plane with Adam Goldstein, also known as DJ AM.
They overran the end of runway 11. They impacted the antenna array and a number of lights at the end of the runway. They went through the perimeter fence and across the roadway here.
After the pilots lost a tire during takeoff, they tried to stop the flight from going into the air. The plane ended up crashing outside of the runway.
What started everything was the landing gear popped. It sounded like gunshots. It sounded like someone was shooting a gun next to my head.
Sadly, Travis Barker and Adam Goldstein were the only ones who made it out alive. Neither walked away unscathed. After suffering severe burns, Barker had to get skin grafts and blood transfusions.
Both of those men have survived and were taken to a burn center in Augusta, Georgia, which is about an hour away from here.
He also nearly lost his foot. The incident gave Barker severe PTSD.
You know, I wasn't in a good place. So yeah, then I did a lot of post-traumatic therapy.
After Goldstein passed away in 2009, Barker became the last living survivor of the crash. Despite all the physical and emotional pain Barker went through, he continued to heal and make music.